Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is E-Star Tarot, and today we're going to be doing another collective reading to see what this collective needs to receive for messages from their ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you see it, that's when you're meant to receive the reading. So here we go. I already got one here. 9 of Pentacles. That's a nice one. I love how she has this pearl necklace here. It's so sweet. Okay, so we got 9 of Pentacles. Oh, here we go. So we got the Lovers and the Fool. All right. So what I'm getting from this already, 9 of Pentacles is usually, typically a woman, doesn't have to be, but typically a woman that has a great sense of independence, of feeling very happy in her space, in her own vibes, right? Someone who, they found their, a space, they've made a space for themselves that makes them happy. Or if not like a physical space, it's also just like they're happy in their energy, right? They feel good. They've maintained something good for themselves. They made a happy home for themselves. And they did it over time because you see you have the snail here, right? Slow, steady progress. So I think that's something. You built up all these pentacles over a long period of time. And now you get to enjoy the garden, right? That you've built for yourself. It's like building a garden, because gardens take time, but at the end you get to see the results of that. Sorry, I just had to turn off my fan there. Forgot to turn it off beforehand. So yeah, so you've built up this garden for yourself, and I see that you've had the assistance from your guardians and angels doing that for you, represented in these doves. So you've made something really good for yourself. You've built a life that makes you happy, but here you have the Lovers coming in. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's, maybe it's not. Like, maybe that's something that is a little alarming to you. Because, it could be a relationship coming in for you. And that's going to disrupt the sense of independence that you've built up. Yeah. It's like they're saying, oh, we're not done with you yet. We've built you a nice safe space where you can feel comfortable, where you can feel safe. And now you're going to get something even more beyond that. Something you're ready for now. And that's what this Fool card is about. It's a leap of faith to go on this new journey with maybe another person, right? And if that doesn't resonate with you, perhaps it's about reaching a new level of love for yourself, a new level of contentment with yourself that you've never even realized was possible. I think before you settled for crumbs and you were not very happy. And so you dealt with this for so long that you figured out how to, build a rose garden in a dump, essentially. Like you figured out how to be happy and thriving in almost any kind of situation. But now it's time for, the Wheel of Fortune to turn, right? And I think you're going to get some good things happening for you. Some really great things. Yeah. You're going to meet a special counterpart here. And whether that's a part within yourself or another person, I strongly feel another person. So, this could be, even though it's a good thing, it's going to feel disrupting to you, right? It's going to feel unfamiliar because you've settled into this comfort. And that's what taking the leap of faith is about, right? It's going to feel like something you're gonna be taking a risk for, right? Because look, I have this happy garden here. Do I want to disrupt that or take a chance on something else that might not work out? But I think maybe you are ready for that. Because look, you we talked about angels here, and you got a big angel over here, right? It's sort of bringing you two together. You're ready for that journey. You're ready to do that. But there might be some hesitation here. You might be a little bit nervous, a little bit worried. Yeah. I'm feeling called to bring attention to, today I brought in a piece of green calcite to be with us in this reading, and our little buffalo, onyx buffalo, likes to join us on these readings. So yeah, let's see. Let's see what else there is. I'm going to get... I actually had a deck come in that I was very excited for. I ordered this quite a long time ago, but it took a while to get here. So it's the Woodland Warriors deck. So I now have an animal deck, which I've been wanting for a long time. Yeah. It's taken a while to get here, but you know, it got there. Maybe that's kind of like this. You took a long time to get here. But now there's something new and exciting for you. Yeah. Let's see what animals want to guide us today. I do like this deck. It's quite nice to shuffle, and testing it out, it really worked well for me. So let's see what it says. Okay. The Ram and Dahlia. Determination. Okay. Whoa. There's like a truck rumbling out there. And it just started with this card. It almost feels like this card is making the noise. And you know, rams are very, this masculine energy, right? Someone's gonna ram into your life. That's what it feels like. They're gonna come storming into it. Maybe make you feel a little bit unsettled. Yeah. Maybe just, it might be something where they're very attracted to you. Or if this is just a new phase of life that's coming for you, you know, it really wants you. Like it's coming in strong for you. Let's see here. I don't know what L is, because that's a number. I think that's like 40. Is that 40? I don't know. I didn't learn my Roman numerals up beyond the 30s. Guess that's something I should have learned. Oh, there it is. It's near the back. Here we go. Yeah, the Rabbit and Dahlias are a card of action. Well, that's, you know, basically what we were thinking, right? He charges up the mountain with steady determination. And there goes that truck. I wonder if this is this you that's going in strong for it? No, I think it's the other person. Yeah. Called the Queen of the Autumn Garden. Interesting. That's what the Dahlia is called. And we were talking here about a garden, weren't we? So maybe it's sort of like this ram's coming into your garden and messing up your flowers, and you're like, what? Get out of here. But actually, this is supposed to be something that's meant to happen, right? Gosh, I can't read. Sometimes I get blurry eyes when I'm about to have a migraine, so I'm hoping that's not what it is. But it could be, so. Do you suffer from migraines? Or maybe this person's gonna give you a big headache. Or kind of, maybe you take your focus off your goals. Whoa. The noises outside are so interesting with this reading, aren't they? I wonder if this is someone good for you or not. I'm not sure. The overall message is you have the power to accomplish your wildest dreams. While others may tire or lose interest, you are persistent and will see your ambitions through. Yeah, outlasting others, because like the dahlia, it stays blooming up until the fall, so it outlasts the other flowers. Maybe that's something to do with age. Like you have maybe been, like maybe you're a little bit older, a little more mature, and so you kind of thought, like this is part of why you settled into the garden, because you kind of thought, well, you know what, I'm just going to make myself have a good life because I don't know if love is for me or love is going to happen for me. But here you have someone else coming in, and it's actually divine timing. It's perfect timing. Like you're at the exact right age to meet this person. And that's what about, like you outlasted everybody because you stayed yeah, you kept your heart ready for this person at a certain age. Like maybe you actually haven't been with anybody up until now. Not really. Like, and maybe you have been with someone, but no one was like really your person, your real love, your true love, like a soulmate. But now that's going to happen for you. But you have to take the leap of faith for it, because it's not going to feel right at first. It's going to feel disruptive because you kind of like, well, I was kind of ready to just live my life on my own. I got used to that. I got ready for that because I let go of that idea that I was going to be with someone else. But, you know, maybe the universe has another plan for you. Yeah, I'm going to see if there's another card here to elaborate on that. I love these cards. It's always an animal and a plant to go with it. I think that's really unique for a deck. I don't know many other decks that do something like that. And very easy to shuffle. Huh, beaver! Home! Isn't that perfect? The beaver and the birch, because the beaver, you know, it chews down the birch to create its home, right? And actually I think we might be in a beaver moon right now, because last one was the buck moon and now it's the beaver moon. I think so, because I was just reading about that online. Some sort of like Instagram thing or something. But it talked about how the beaver gets its home ready. And we get kind of busy like making our home very comfortable because we're going to have to settle in for winter. Maybe that's what's going on here with you as well. Oh, I should put this here. Yeah. I think this person might feel like home to you, and you might not be used to that. You might not think you're ready for that, but you are. This is the time for this to happen for you. It was always meant to happen like this. Yeah. And you're gonna build a nice home with this person. Maybe you literally are like gonna build a house, but like you're gonna build that sense of home with this person. Before you just had a garden, but now you're gonna have a house. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But I get it. It's like scary, right? If you've been alone for a long time and you got used to that type of life, you know, it can feel very strange. Got 2 cards here. I always want the symmetry to work out perfectly, but then, you know, my guides have other plans, so. The bear and the cedar. Leadership. Interesting. We'll see what the other one is. Okay, the raccoon and sycamore. Curiosity. It's funny how these 3 are all very like woodland animals, and then the ram is the only odd one out. Yeah. Maybe it's sort of like a woodland garden, and this is metaphorically speaking, but it's like you have a garden in the woodland, and then this ram comes out of nowhere, and you're like, Where are you from? Where did you come from? Yeah, so strange. Bear with leadership. You might have to, because, you got the Fool here. Maybe there's something about, like, I get with the raccoon that you have to have curiosity, Well, you don't have to, but it's inviting you to have curiosity about this. Because maybe you closed off your heart. But, your guides are saying maybe be a little more curious about it. Like maybe this could be something good. It doesn't have to be something bad. And you don't have to say yes to everything. If someone doesn't feel right for you, you can say no to that. But, it might be something worth exploring. And I think the bear is calling you to take leadership over your life. And reminding you that you can have leadership over your life. If something isn't right for you, if something feels wrong, if somebody feels wrong, you can say no to that person. And when you know that you can say no, it's easier to get to know people a little more, right? Because sometimes we can be the kind of person that doesn't says yes when we mean no. I was that kind of person at one time in my life, and it was very frustrating, because I would actually get angry at myself, being like, why did I say yes to that? I don't actually want to do that. It's people pleasing, right? And it gets programmed into us, and it's very hard to break. And if you tend to do that, don't be hard on yourself about it, because there's many different reasons why we people please, and we're often, especially for women, we often get influenced to be that way, and it's very frustrating, but we can break through that and become something more independent, more free thinking, and able to direct ourselves, Hold on. Sorry about that. I had to use the washroom. But it was so urgent that it was kind of odd. I felt like I was gonna burst, and then I realized, this is kind of like that. The volcano. It's kind of a weird analogy, but you know, I almost wonder if it's like this energy's building up inside you. Like you've maybe you've kind of been resistant to a relationship for so long, like the tension's building up inside you. And it needs to release. But I also wonder if maybe like when you meet this person, it's going to be like this explosion of energy, a big energetic release. Yeah. But you have to take yourself there, right? You have to take leadership over your life if that's something that you want or don't want, right? I think really think about the bear in this case. But also be like the raccoon. Don't say no right away. Be curious about it. Explore what it could be. Because maybe you think you know what you want, but often our guides, know what could be better for us, and they try to lead us there without, telling us what to do, because, free will is important, and they can't just direct our lives, but even if they know what's good for us, right? So they kind of have to guide us. Then that's why they're called guides, right? Because they are guiding. So just be aware of that ultimately you have the choice, but sometimes opportunities are brought to us for a reason. And your intuition will tell you what's good for you and what's not. Right? If it feels right, it's right. And if it feels wrong, then say no, right? We're going to take a card from the Yule deck. See what other messages we need to know about this. I want to, I wasn't expecting love in this reading, and I'm kind of like, I wish it was like a more happy, uplifting, but I get from your energy, it makes you a little nervous. It makes you a little anxious. And, you know, your guides are saying, don't be anxious. Don't be stressed. It doesn't have to be this scary thing. You know, let it be fun. Let it be something you, you know, it doesn't have to have power over your life. You know, it can just be, you know, an event in your life, and it can be fun. It doesn't have to be scary. Yule log. Aw. I love the mushrooms in it. Yule's coming soon, right? You can feel the chill in the air. Oh, and it says 4-4. Aw, that's like a message from your angels, because 444 is a very powerful angel number. It's usually means protection. I take it as like a direct message from angels to let you know they're guiding you and watching you. And you know, if they're guiding you in this situation, you know, they're gonna make sure no harm comes to you. Insert me with a bleeding thought. Is that what it says? Sorry, I'm really having trouble reading. I really pray for me if I'm about to have a migraine, because oh my gosh, they're so bad. But I always get blurry vision before a migraine, and I'm terrified because I can't read right now. Insert me with a bleeding thought, a sacred creation, birthed from thee. I am God. I am goddess. I am creation and the creator. That makes me think of the lovers. It's like, I am God and goddess. Maybe, you know, you're kind of like a goddess, and you're about to meet your, when I say your God, it sounds like, you know, your ruler, but like it's not. It's like your counterpart. Insert me with a bleeding thought. It's an interesting way to phrase it, because they put the Yule log in the fire, right? And they burn it. A sacred creation birthed from thee. Yeah, it's sort of like, it's almost like you decorated this beautiful Yule log, because I think that's what they do. I don't do the Yule log thing, but I know in traditions, actually, what does Yule come from? Is there a specific religion that does the Yule log? Anyway, it's not important, but I know that like a family will like decorate the Yule dog, and we got a dog there in the fold. But they'll decorate the Yule log, and then it'll be this beautiful creation that they make together, and then they put in the fire and it burns, which is kind of sad in a way, because they put all this effort into making it, but the point is to watch it burn, and it's almost like watching it rebirth. You know, it's like burning away the year too. Maybe that's what you're afraid of. You're afraid of getting burned. Oops. Like you feel like your garden will get burned if you let someone else into it. And that's like, but also you feel like you've made yourself into this beautiful, independent person. And if you let someone else be part of that, are you going to lose that thing that you've worked so hard to build? Yeah. And it's like they're trying to tell you it's okay. This is part of the process. This is what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to burn the Yule log, even though it seems like you should preserve it. Because it's almost like it's symbolic of ending the year. And it's like, if you were letting the Yule log stay, it'd be like keeping the year going and going. And that wouldn't make sense. That's not part of nature. Everything has to renew every year. Everything has to go through a rebirth. I think you're a little scared of that rebirth into a new life. Chills, yeah. You're holding yourself safe. You're trying to keep yourself protected. But you've left yourself out in the cold because you're doing that. It's like you've isolated yourself from others, and it's like you've gotten used to the cold, and you're just used to holding yourself tight to keep warm. You keep yourself warm, but you can let others keep you warm. You could burn a fire together. This is tough. Because I know what it's like when you don't want to let others in. And when you feel like you can control, you feel safe because you can control everything yourself. It's tough. It's tough to let go of that. And I feel that I want to take this other card here because it keeps poking out at me. Oh my God. Of course it would be. It was nagging at me. It was like, pick me, pick me. So I just grabbed it and look what it was. Bear medicine. This you couldn't make this up. I kind of wish I took the bear totem now, but maybe not. Would have been too many bears. We only have room for 2 bears here. There is no tomorrow without the healing of the past, for in stillness you shall find yourself right where you are. You know, this might take you having to look at some of those wounds that make you want to keep yourself safe. You might have to look at yourself really honestly and ask yourself, why is it that I want to do everything myself? Why do I want to do everything independently? Why don't I want to trust others, lean on others? Why don't I want to give and receive with others? You know, is there something in my childhood that taught me to be that way? Was there a wound that's still present within me that's made me think that that's the only way to be safe? Whew. Yeah. Trauma. That's all I can think about is, you know, when we have childhood trauma, it can really last with us. But we can talk to others about it. And, you know, it's surprising how good we can feel when we express, you know, this is the one thing I can't solve. This is the one thing I can't seem to overcome. Can you help me? You know, that can be so freeing to say help. Say, actually, I do struggle. Actually, I do feel lonely. This reading's so sad. Even though we started off so positively with these cards here, and it is a positive thing that's coming in for you, but I think it's going to bring up a lot of sadness for you because it's going to be hard for you. It's going to be a struggle to receive and accept it. And that's something you might have to work through. You might need help to do that. You might need help to acknowledge it and work through it. And you know, you can let yourself cry if you need to. Yeah. And please journal. Please you know, especially when you're having those moments where you want to cry and you want to be burst with emotion, let yourself write it out. Writing can be so healing and it doesn't have to be anything elegant or magnificent. Like, just write in a journal that only you can see, and then, you know, you can get a sense of what you're feeling. And sometimes we can find out things about ourselves that we didn't even know we were feeling. And if nothing else, if you do talk to someone, you can look back at that journal to look back at what's been bothering you, and you have a reference, right? You know, sometimes that's what bothers me about talking to like a counselor or something like that, is in the moment I can't think of it. I can't think of the things that are really, you know, aching inside me. But when I write it down, suddenly it all makes sense and I can communicate that, you know. And a lot of counselors do things by phones now. So, like, if talking to people in person's hard too, you can talk on the phone and you could have your journal with you. So, you know, that's for somebody here, but that could really help you not be afraid to do that. Sometimes when I'm afraid to do something, it helps if I can be really organized about it. So, you know, and sometimes emotions are that thing, right? So that's a good way to be in control of it, right? Yeah. Because, you know, I think these things could be really, really healing for you if you let them in. You know, you really deserve it. You deserve that sense of home. You deserve to have a home that's like warm and comforting, and you know, it's not just a garden. I'm not sure why that analogy is sticking with me, but yeah, it's like you just got used to that. And you think like that is your home, but there's an even better home waiting for you. Yeah, it's like, it's funny. I was watching a video about trauma and how sometimes when good things happen, that's when our trauma comes up. And that's what's coming back to me right now. It's so funny. Like it was this woman talking about her own experience where she got this opportunity. It was like I think she was doing like comedy skits, and she got this opportunity to do a show. But then because she hadn't ever dealt with her traumas, that she had been shielding herself from by overworking and by constantly keeping busy, it came up really strong in her body where she actually got fevers and chronic fatigue syndrome and all this stuff that really lasted with her. I thought it was horrendous what her story was, but she was like, oh, I actually got through it pretty good. I just thought, whoa, I wouldn't have dealt with that well, but have had that happen before where, you know, something, I got ill when there was things I was pushing down and pushing away from myself from dealing with it and just keeping myself busy. So be aware of that, you know, if this good things comes in, it might bring up the trauma that hasn't been dealt with. That's often when it happens. We're forced to deal with it because it's happening when we want it the least. When we're like, no, anytime but now. But that's kind of how it works sometimes. And you don't want it to interfere with these things, right? So now's the time to deal with it, right? Yeah. Let's get, because we got that angel number here. Try to keep the video short, but I do want to get one more angel card to end us with. Yeah. Get a little angelic guidance here. Oh, there we go. Simple enough. Courage. Courage from Archangel Ariel. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. Yeah, so a lot of times standing up for ourselves, standing up for our bodies and our wounds is what helps us. But also within ourselves, we have to face ourselves, right? Have the courage to look at your wounds. Have the courage to face them. So that when these good things come in, it doesn't get in the way. Yeah. And they're giving you courage. They're with you to help you face it. And actually, I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think. I think actually it's going to be a huge release for you. Like, and you know, sometimes you have to cry a lot. And it disrupts our center, our sense of stability, but you can't let it continue on. It can't continue to interfere with us. So yeah, be brave. Be brave like the bear's standing up. Like he's standing up and he's like being intimidating, right? You can stand up to your own fears and your own darkness. Because you deserve the warmth. You deserve to be taken in out of the cold. Yeah. That was really nice. I'm really glad that card came out. And I think that's honestly the end of the reading because I'm not really getting much else. So I hope it was helpful for you. I'm sorry if it was a little intense, but I think you needed to hear it. And, you know, the angels are giving you courage and encouragement. So believe in that. And you don't have to do everything all at once. Just take it in baby steps every day, right? Maybe just try the journaling thing for now. Just keep working at it, like the snail. Yeah, the snail goes at a snail's pace, but eventually it gets there, right? Just don't stall on it. Don't ignore it. That's the only thing you have to keep yourself from doing, and you'll make it there. All right. I hope this reading was helpful. And if you like the videos, you can like and subscribe or leave a comment to say how it resonated. I like to read them. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.